Amar Rav Chavivi Michuzna Ravashi. Let's see. It's about 15 lines from the bottom of 57b. Pei Zayin Amid Beis. We've been bringing proofs back and forth of when the Torah was given. Was it given on the 6th of Sivan or the 7th of Sivan? It was for sure given on Shabbos. And the question is, what was Shabbos that month? What was Shabbos? Was Shabbos the 6th or the 7th? According to Rabbi Eily, Shabbos was the 7th because Moshe added an extra day on his own that the people should be pure. They had 4 days of separation, 3 days plus a day. In the Torah it says on the 3rd day you should be ready, but Moshe added an extra day.
Wasn't the original Matan Torah
the 6th? It was supposed to be the 6th.
It was probably on hay because it was 50 days. It wasn't. We count 49 days starting from the 2nd day of Pesach, but they counted from the 1st day.
Okay.
They didn't wait till the 2nd day. There was no 2nd day of Pesach. They started counting the day they walked out, right?
I don't know if they're counting. We count from the Karban Omer. They didn't have a Karban Omer. So I don't know if that counting is connected.
Fine, they didn't count, but every single day we're told that they increased one level of spirituality.
Okay. So
So
that could have been. I remember seeing this discussion that it turns out they received the Torah really on the 51st day.
Right. Okay. So what do they do? What do they do in those 2 days? That was the Shmesh Simei Bala.
Yeah, I don't know. But the way we worked it out is that if they left on a Thursday, the Torah they received on Shabbos, it's going to be 52 days, right?
Right, exactly. If you believe that there's 30 days in each month, it would be that would have been the 52nd day.
So, anyway, here's a discussion of Yossi and the Rabbanan. So, and it has to do with if Rosh Chodesh Iyar was on a Sunday or a Monday. Rosh Chodesh Sivan, was on a Sunday or a Monday. According to the Rabbanan, Rosh Chodesh Sivan was on a Monday, which makes that means that's the first. The first was Monday. That means the 6th is Shabbos. And according to Rabbi Yossi, the first was Sunday. That makes Shabbos the 7th. So Amar Rav Chaviv Michuzna Ravashi, Tashma, come and listen. So we go a year ahead. We are on the day that the Mishkan was set up. That is the 2nd year that they came out of Egypt, on the 1st of the month, on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So it's almost a full year later, minus 15 days. They left on the 15th. That's considered the 2nd year. Now, Tana was taught in a Brisa, that day took 10 crowns. It says, Rishon L'maisa Bereishis. Well, it was a Sunday. Another 10 crowns means there's 10 things that were unique about this. Rishon L'Nesiyim. It was the first day that the Nesiyim brought their sacrifices. As you know, we say the Nesiyim, the Kabbanis and the Nesiyim from Rosh Chodesh Nisan until the 12th, 13th maybe. Rishon L'Kahuna was the first day the Kayanim did the service. Before that, it was the B'chairim. And Rishon L'Avaida was the first day that they actually did the Kabbanis Tzibur of the Karban Tamid and all of that. What do we say in the Karban Tamid? We say Bahar Sinai. Hasuya Bahar Sinai. How does it go? Okay, that was the first time that they did it. And recently you read the Seish, the fire came down onto the Mizbeach. Rishon L'Achilas Kadshim. It's the first time that the sacrifices were eaten inside the location where they're supposed to be eaten. Before that, if there was a sacrifice that was brought, it was eaten anywhere because there was no actual location. It was just like a bama. And Rishon Lishkain Shechina, the Shechina came down. V'shachanti b'seicham. Rishon Levarech Es Yisrael, the Kayanim could do Birkas Kayanim now. And Rishon L'Ser Abamis, it's the first time that it was prohibited to bring a sacrifice anywhere else. And Rishon L'Chadashim was the first of the months. Okay. So, I'm not sure if it means first of the months or first of the month. Maybe both, because it's Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So, and we know it's a Sunday. If in the second year, Rosh Chodesh Nisan is on a Sunday, then last year was on a Wednesday. Why? Because the year is 354 days. If a year would be 350 days, then it would fall out the same, right? 7 times 50, 50 times 7 would be 350. It would be the same day. The problem is that it's 354. That means that if, let's say, Rosh Chodesh Nisan this year was on Wednesday, instead of being on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Shabbos, Sunday, it's going to be 4 days later, 354 days. So if the second year, Rosh Chodesh Nisan, is on a Sunday, that means the previous year was on a Wednesday. Okay. The Tanyas was taught in a Brisa. Others say, I guess it means Reb Meir, maybe. Ein bein atzeres la atzeres, ein bein Rosh Hashanah la Rosh Hashanah la Daled Yamim Bilvad. In between the holidays, from one year to the next, there's only 4 days of the week, referring to. Also says, ein bein Pesach la Pesach the Bach adds in. Then it's hay. If it would have been a leap year, then it's 5 days. Why? Because a leap year would be 29 days. Would add 1 day. Would add 1 day to the week. So it'd be 5 days apart. Whatever the case is, if Rosh Chodesh Nisan is on the first year, is on a Wednesday, how do we know that? Because the following year was on a Sunday. So Havali Reish Yarchad De'iyar Malei Shabbata. Because Nisan is 30 days, Nisan is Malei, is a full month of 30 days, not 29 days. So if Nisan is 30 days, so from Wednesday, 4 weeks later, plus 2 days, it would be 30 days. So it would be Thursday, Friday. So 30 days later, from Nisan to Iyar, Rosh Chodesh Iyar would now be on a Friday. Okay, that's not a problem. But Reish Yarchad Sivan, Iyar is a Chodesh Chaser, so it's 29 days later. So that would be 4 weeks in a day. It would go over 1 day. So Sivan would be on Shabbata. Rosh Chodesh Sivan would be on Shabbos. Well, this messes everything up. There's no opinion that that's gonna go with this, because Kasha bein l'Rabbi Yossi bein l'Rabbanan. Rabbi Yossi said Rosh Chodesh was on Sunday, and the Rabbanan said it was on Monday. Here we have it worked out that it's really on Shabbos. Nice, complicated question, but he worked it out based on the following year. Okay. Gemara says Rabbi Yossi Shiva Chaser Mavad. Rabbi Yossi, you see, all of this is based on the calendar being 29:30, 29:30, 29:30. And that means 6 are 29 and 6 are 30. But if you don't hold like that, and if you do 7 of them are 29, then it's very possible that Rosh Chodesh Nisan, instead of being 354 days apart from Nisan to Nisan, it's really 353 days. So if Rosh Chodesh Nisan is on a Sunday in the second year, the year before was on a Thursday instead of on a Wednesday. Well, that's going to help us, because that would mean that Rosh Chodesh Iyar is going to be on a Shabbos. Rosh Chodesh Sivan would be on a Sunday.
Why would you assume that there are 7 months of 29?
Well, he doesn't hold that it needs to be exactly that every year needs to be exactly 354 days. You see, there's an intercalculation here. We have the month calculation, which is the moon cycle, and then you have the solar calculation. So you try to get them to work out, but really the months themselves have no connection to the sun. So at the end of the year, at the end of several years, you try to balance it out, but it doesn't have to be that every year needs to be, you don't want to be off. The season shouldn't move out of whatever. You got to get it into place at the same place where the sun is. Should restart every year. But I guess it doesn't have to be exactly for that to happen.
You're not going to accomplish that by having more 29 months. You'll accomplish that by either having more 30-day months or by having an extra month, like we do.
Yeah, so maybe that's the way they do it.
The moon falls behind. The moon cycle is shorter than the sun.
Right. So they're going to fall behind 11 days, and they can resolve it with the leap years. And then those leap months, they can also play with that as well if it's 29, 30. I guess they'll fix it. In the big picture, they fix it. So that's going to answer for Rabbi Yosi how Sivan is going to be on a Sunday. And the Rabbanan Ches Chaserim of it. The Rabbanan hold that he can do actually 8 months that are Chaser. Maybe the answer is that they would have leap years more often. Well, it would work out like this. If a leap year, you go back 11 days, and you only add a 30 days, and you're missing 33, that's not going to help. You need extra full ones, not okay. Okay, we've answered our question. If there's 8 months that are only 29. That's going to be only 2 days apart. That means Rosh Chodesh Nisan in the second year is on a Sunday. The year before, Rosh Chodesh Nisan is going to be on a Friday.
Why don't they look from Shabbos Agadol? We know that they took the Korban on Shabbos Agadol.
Right.
It was specific days before.
Right.
See it.
Right. Do we have that? We're going to have something similar to that. And we had something before about that. Just 1 second. Yeah. Before the Gemara asks from that, we said, we had a brisa that said that the day they left Egypt was on a Thursday, which means that the day the Korban Pesach was on a Wednesday, which means Shabbos Agadol was on a. It didn't do the Shabbos Agadol thing knowing that Shabbos Agadol is the 10th. That would have told, but anyway, it works out the same question. And how did we resolve that? We said that brisa was going according to the Rabbanan, or going according to Rabbi Yosi. Yeah, the way we answer these questions is we say, well, this brisa is going according to that opinion. Okay, so here we had a question, and we resolved it because it didn't fit with Rabbi Yosi or the Rabbanan. So we said, well, you can fix it by saying how many months are leap months or not. Okay. Tashema the Tanya B'Seder Eilam. Come and listen, it was taught in Seder Eilam. Seder Eilam was actually written by Rabbi Yosi. So let's hope it fits with Rabbi Yosi. Actually, it doesn't. It's going to be a kasha. We have the Seder Eilam. It goes like this. Nisan sheba yotze Yisrael mi Mitzrayim ba'arba asar shachta peschayim. The Nisan that they left Egypt. On the 14th, they shechted the Korban Pesach. B'chamisha asar yotze. On the 15th, they left. And the day they left was Erev Shabbos, was a Friday. Okay. Midirish Yarcha the Nisan Erev Shabbos. I don't know why you have to go back to that. They jump back 2 weeks. They say, okay, that means Rosh Chodesh Nisan is Erev Shabbos. It's easier somehow to work from Rosh Chodesh Nisan than to work from the 15th. But let's say If Rosh Chodesh Nisan is Erev Shabbos, then Reisha Yarcha de Iyar is Chad b'Shabbat. That means if Nisan is a 30-day month, so then Rosh Chodesh Iyar is going to be 2 days later, which is a Sunday. The Sivan B'Trei b'Shabbat. So then Iyar is 29-day month. It's only going to be 4 weeks and 1 day later. It's going to be on a Monday. Sivan B'Trei b'Shabbat. It's going to be on a Monday. It's a kasha Rabbi Yosi. It's a kasha Rabbi Yosi. It says Rosh Chodesh was on a Sunday. Amlach Rabbi Yosi. Rabbi Yosi says Amani Rabbanan. That's following the opinion of Rabbanan. It's amazing that in Seder Olam, which was authored by Rabbi Yosi, he has a brisa there that goes according to the Rabbanan. Tashma, come and listen. Rabbi Yosi Eme B'Sheni Ola Moshe V'Yarad. On Monday, Moshe went up the mountain and he came down. And he told them, Batim Tili Mamlachas Kainim. B'Shlishi, on Tuesday, Olav Yarad. He went up and he came down and he told them not to come close to the mountain. B'Dalid, on Wednesday, Yarad, he came down, V'Shuv Le'ala, and he didn't go up. And there's a little problem there. Because if you didn't go up, you can't come down. Right? One even longer going down. Right? So, if he didn't go up, how does he come down? Okay, so adjust that. It means on Wednesday, he went up and he came down. But what it means is that he didn't go back up on Thursday. What did he tell them on the Wednesday? On Wednesday, he tells them that they should separate. So on Thursday, he builds them his Be'ach V'Kavel of Karban. He brings the sacrifice. Friday was too busy. Now, he wasn't able to go up, to go up the mountain. And what's the reason? It was so busy. My love mishum Torah. It must be that they received the Torah. That's the problem. We said that they received the Torah on Shabbos. Here it says, apparently they received it on Friday. It says, Loi, mishum Torah Shabbos. They're busy preparing for Shabbos. The Torah they taka received on Shabbos morning. But they had to prepare for Shabbos as well. They already received the laws of Shabbos in Mara. We had that yesterday. I don't know if they received Tchumen, but they received the laws of Shabbos. Darashahu Glila, famous Gemara. This Galilean taught Alad Rav Chisda, I guess in front of Rav Chisda. He taught like this. He says, Brich Rachmana, blessed is the Eibishter, the Yav Orient Lisai, that he gave a Torah that has 3 parts, which is referring to, Rashi says, Torah Nevi'im and Ksuvim. La'am Tlisai, to a nation that has 3 parts, Kainim Levi'im Yisraelim. Al Yedei Tlisai, through a 3rd child, which is Moshe, because Miriam and Aaron. B'yom Tlisai, on the 3rd day of separation. B'yarcha Tlisai, in the 3rd month of Nisan Iyar Sivan, the 3rd month. Well, this is a little bit of a problem because it says that the Torah was given on the 3rd day of separation, and according to Rabbi Yosi, it was the 4th day of separation. It says, come on, who does this go like? Kirabanan, it goes like the Rabbanan. That the Torah was given on the 3rd day of separation. Vayisyatzvu betachtis sahar, and they sat at the bottom of the mountain. Now, tachtis means the bottom.
Why can't it just say that after full 3 days of separation?
Yeah,
that was his whole thing to begin with.
Right.
The Rabbanan just say there was just full 3 days.
Right. You see, I think the answer is that it's not saying 3 and then there's another one. It's saying like Torah Nevi'im Ksuvim is 3rds. Miriam, Aaron, and Moshe, 3rds. Nisan Iyar Sivan. So it wants to have, Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. That's 3rds.
Even after full 3 months. In other words, it's acknowledging things as wholes. But okay.
Okay. So Amar Rav Avdimi bar Chama bar Chasa Melamed Shekafa Kadosh Baruch Aleim Asahar Kigigas. When it says Vayisyatva B'tachta Sahar, that they were beneath the mountain, it's describing it here by Rav Avdimi bar Chama bar Chasa that they were actually underneath the mountain, not at the bottom of the mountain. They were under the mountain. How does that work? Well, Hashem took the mountain and he turned it over them like the way you would pour out of a jug. So when you turn it over, it becomes, it's not under the mountain, it's like under the top of the mountain. It's like you turn it over. It's a funny expression. So what happened over there that he turns the mountain over on them? Hashem tells them, if you're going to accept the Torah, then good. And if not, there will be your burial. It's a problem with the word sham. Should be like here, right? It's God is standing right there. That's a little interesting. The commentaries say that it's referring to later generations, that the darkness of Galus, and he was showing them later things. Here's the great excuse. If anyone says they weren't able to keep the Torah, they get caught in judgment, they can say, yeah, I was forced into this. I never accepted this willingly. God took the mountain and put it over me. I have an excuse for everything. Rava says, they later received it willingly in the days of Achashverosh, in the days of Mordechai. Because of the miracle that happened, they accepted it willingly. They fulfilled what they had accepted previously. The way the Gemara is putting it is really kiblu masha kiblu kvar. No, they're accepting hadar kiblua, but they say okay. Some of the commentaries say, I remember seeing over here based on Tosfos, that is that they accepted Torah Shebiksav, but in Bimei Achashverosh they accepted Torah Shebal Peh. What they were forced into was the Torah Shebal Peh. It also contradicts some things. Nasa v'nishma, it contradicts some things. So, but if you can divide that up, then you can explain that the Torah Shebal Peh, that is all those extra details, that's where all the complications. So that they weren't willing to accept until the days of Achashverosh. Amar Chizkiah says, "My deksiv, mishamayim mishmat din." From the heavens we hear judgment. You heard judgments. Eretz yara v'shakata. The earth is in awe, trembling, and then it rests like sheket. Im yara lama shakata. If it's in fear, why is it resting? Im shakata lama yara. And if it's resting, if it's quiet, what's the fear? Ela betchila yara. Originally, it's afraid. B'saif shakta, and at the end it rested. V'lama yara. What was it afraid of? Reish Lakish, like Reish Lakish taught. Dam Reish Lakish, my deksiv. What's the meaning of the pasuk? Vayer vayivayim hashishi. It was evening, it was morning, it was the sixth day. Hey Yisrael Lamali, what do you need extra hay of hashishi? Malamichis nakadosh baruch hu ma'aser bereishis. Hashem made a condition with creation. Well, Amalem, he said, Im Yisrael makabel materat miskaimen. I don't know the world if you're going to exist. We're going to see what happens. No promises here. If the Jewish people accept the Torah, then you'll continue to exist. But if not, I'm going to turn you back to emptiness. So the Jewish people accepted the Torah, and then it rested. But originally it was afraid. They don't know what's going to happen. It was one of these contracts that don't really non-committal. We'll see what's going to happen. So okay. So what is the hay? What is the I'm sorry. What is the hashishi? The hashishi is the 6th of Sivan that the Torah was given. That only fits with the Rabbanan. So the Torah was given on the 6th. This whole thing doesn't fit with Rabbi Yossi. What does Rabbi Yossi do with him? The Torah was given on the 7th. Hashishi. It's interesting. Darash Reb Simai. Reb Simai taught B'shashek dem Yisrael Nasel Nishma. When the Jewish people said Nasa before Nishma, they said we will fulfill, and then they said we will learn. We will understand. So at that time when they said this, 10,000 angels, which means 600,000 angels came to the Jewish people, and they tied 2 crowns. Yes, the angels were tied 2 crowns for each one. Echad Kneged Nasa, Echad Kneged Nishma. What does it mean, kashru like ksarim? Maybe the imagery here is like the crowns that they would use with like olive branches. They would tie like a type of crown like that. I don't know. I'm not sure what the kashru is. Usually we imagine a crown as like silver or gold or something. So they had 2 crowns, Echad Kneged Nasa and Echad Kneged Nishma. One was corresponding to the fact that they said we will fulfill. The other one was corresponding to that they said that they will study, will understand. Kivin Shechati Yisrael, but when the Jewish people sinned, that means with the Egel, so Yaradu Meya V'Esrim Ribe Malachi Chabala, they had 1,200,000 angels of destruction, Upirkum, and they took the crowns off. Shenemar, as it says, Vayisnatzlu B'nei Yisrael as Edyam. The Jewish people were removed from their edyam, as their ornaments, the Har Chayrev that they received on Har Chayrev, which is Mount Sinai. Amar Rav Chama Bar Chanina says, B'Chayrev Tanu, they put them on the mountain at Chayrev. That's where they got them. And B'Chayrev Parku, and they lost them at the mountain. Tanu, Keda Amran, where'd they get them? We said, Nasa v'Nishma, they got crowns. B'Chayrev Parku, the Tzivah Yisnasa B'nei Yisrael, they lost them. As it says that they lost their ornaments, their edyam. Edyam could mean a crown. Amar Rabbi Yechanan, v'kulan zacha Moshe. Moshe merited to all of those crowns. V'natlan, and he took them, the Samach Le'yam Moshe yikach ha'oil. Because it says right next to they lost their crowns, it says that Moshe took his tent. Now, Rashi over here says, that oil, he took his tent, could also mean oil, could beheloi nere, could mean a shine. That Moshe's face shone because of all those crowns that he got. What was that crown? It was some sort of shechina, some shine from Hashem that they had. So Moshe got all of them, and that's why his face shone. Amr Shlakish. Asa the Kadosh Baruch Hu lachzir lanu. Rish Lakish says that Hashem will return it to Hashem Yeshuvan, and those redeemed by Hashem will return. Uboti and Berina, Simcha Selam al Reisham. They'll come to Tzion with rejoicing and a everlasting gladness on their head, happiness on their head. Now Simcha Selam, it says Simcha Shemayolam al Reisham. A happiness that was previously on their head. It means the crowns that they had before. Amar Abelazar b'shashik tim Yisrael nasel the Nishma. And the Jewish people said, first we will fulfill, and then we will understand. So Yatza Baskal v'Amralan, a heavenly voice comes out and says, Migil livni razeh, shemalach yashar smishtam shbay. Who told my sons, my children, the secret? This is what the angels say. The angels bless Hashem, strong ones that fulfill his will, l'shmaya b'kol devari, to understand what he says. That means first they fulfill and then they understand. Bereisha oisei v'hadol l'shmaya. They're ready to fulfill even before they hear all the details. Usually people want to hear it. Tell me, give me all the details first, and then let me see if I want to do it. Amar Rab Chama Bar B'chanina Mai D'Ksiv. Rab Chama Bar B'chanina says, what is the meaning of the pasuk? Tapuach b'atzei yar, like an apple amongst the trees of the forest, or an apple tree in the forest. Lama nimshal Yisrael tapuach. Why the Jewish people compared to an apple? We'll see in Taisus, it's not really an apple, but let's see. Lay malach, it's coming to tell you, ma tapuach zeh period kaidim la'alav, just like this apple, the fruit comes before the leaves. Af Yisrael l'ktim nasa l'nishma. Also, the Jewish people, they said, we'll fulfill. Before they said, we'll understand. So the leaves here correspond to the learning. Isn't that interesting? And the fruits correspond to fulfilling. The fruits are like the action, and the leaves are the learning. Isn't that interesting? Would have thought it would be different. Taisus over here asks, what's this Gemara saying? It's not true. You never have the fruits before the leaves. So he says it's not talking about an apple. It's talking about, they had apples there in Europe, in Taisus area. Didn't have that fellow running around America planting apples, but they had apples. He says it must have been an esrog. Taisus says that tapuach doesn't really mean an apple, it means an esrog. So why does the fruit come before the leaves? He says it looks like that because an esrog stays on the tree through all the seasons. So it's deciduous. So you look at the tree, you see the fruits without the leaves, and then the leaves grow back. So it looks like the fruit comes before the leaves. So that's how Taisus explains that. Then Taisus asks that the pasuk is really referring to Hashem, not to the Jewish people. Okay. Hahu Tzeduki, there was this Sadducee, this Tzeduki. I don't know why specifically it's referring to the Tzeduki. Why it has to be a Tzeduki? It could be anyone that's... Okay. The Chazi l'Rava, he sees Rava t'kamayim b'shmaite. Rava was learning deeply. V'yasva etzbasi didei tusikari. And he was sitting with his fingers under his chair. Kari means his feet. His legs, maybe. V'kamitzbu, I guess he squeezed it. V'kamavan etzbasi dama. And there was blood that was coming out of his fingers. He was learning, and he was not aware that he started to bleed from his fingers. He's squeezing his fingers. Amalei am peziza, you're a rash nation. The kadmisu p'maycho ladenaycho, your mouth came before your ears. Akati b'pachazu saichu kaimi, you're still rash. Bereishei boy lelchol mishmei, you first should have asked to understand. First ask for the details. You don't just agree to anything. You have to find out all the information first. Amalei, so Rava responds to him, Anan, the Saginan b'shleimusa, us, that we go with shleimusa, that means we go with sincerity. Ksiv, bun, I guess it says by us, tumas yisharim tanchim, that the sincerity of the straight will lead them. Hanachinshi the sagan balilusa, but you, that you're so you have all these claims or halilas, but ksiv behu self baigdim yashtim, the deceit of the faithless will destroy them. So you have sophistications that you need to know everything, so, but that's not, it doesn't help. We followed Hashem into the desert without anything. So we went with sincerity. Rab Shmuel bar Nachmani, Rabbi Yonasan, Rab Shmuel bar Nachmani says the name of Rabbi Yonasan, my diksiv. What's the meaning of the pasuk? Levavtani achesikala. Levavtani Rashi translates that he brought me close. He brought me close, my sister, my sister, bride. Levavtani bachas meinecha. You brought me close with one of your eyes. What's the meaning of this pasuk? B'tchila bachas meinecha. Originally it was with one eye. L'kashetasi, but then when I fulfill, that's b'shteinach, it's with both eyes. What is this referring to? I thought this was referring to Nasiv and Nishma, but they fulfill first. This is interesting. When the Jewish people said Nasa v'nishma, that was only close with one eye. It's a little bit of closeness. After, when they said Nishma, when they said Nasa v'nishma, that was an acceptance. Then when they actually fulfilled, then it's b'shtei necha. Then it's with both. So the acceptance wasn't the full thing. They also have to fulfill. Amar Ula says, Aluva kala mezanim b'teichel pas, how shameful it is for a bride to commit adultery under the chuppah. This is referring to the Egel. Amar of Mari, Breda bas Shmuel. Oh, here we have Rav Mari. This is Shmuel's daughter's, the daughter was taken captive. So she had a son, his name was Mari Barachel, he's called. But because his father wasn't Jewish, his father was this, until he converted, the father converted, his name was Isser Giyara. So Rav Mari, the son of the daughter of Shmuel. Mikra, what's the pasuk? It says, this is in Shir Hashirim, Ad Shamelech ben Masih by Nerdi Nasan, until the king is in his chuppah. My nerd is a type of perfume, type of spice, spikenard. I think they translate it. Has already gone. So so that's the pasuk that says that while we're still at the chuppah, we already lost our nice fragrance. Amarav adayin chivusahi kaban. However, it could be Rava. There's another girsa. Hashem still loves us. The ksiv nasan v'leiksiv hisriach. It says we've given off our fragrance, but it doesn't mean we started to stink. So as Hashem wrote it, it was written in a way that we're still beloved. Okay. Tana Rabbanan, it was taught in the Braisa, Aluven, Vein, and Olven. The Jewish people become shamed, but they don't shame others. Shemin Charpasim Vein Meshivim. They hear they're being attacked, and they don't respond. Oisem Me'ava, they do it out of love, Smechem B'Yisurim, and they rejoice even in suffering. Aliyah Makasav Aimer, regarding them, it says, those that are beloved are like the sun goes out with all its strength. Okay, let's quote it in Tanya, this. Rabbi Yochanan says, my diksiv, what's the meaning of the pasuk? Hashem yitin aimer, Hashem gives voice, words. Hamavasres tzavarav. And it's announced, the announcers, the women announcers, I guess, tzavarav, to a great amount of hosts. That means that Hashem just said one thing, but it gets translated into 70 languages. Tana debei Rabbi Yishmael, as it says, like the hammer breaks the rock. Just like this hammer breaks up into many sparks. Also Also, every word of Hashem breaks into 70 languages. I heard from Rabbi Ginsburg said, I never read anything from Abulafia, but he said that Rabbi Avram Abulafia held that Hebrew is the original language, and every other language is an explanation of the Hebrew. So if you have a Hebrew word and you translate it into one language, so it's like a paper that's folded 70 times. So when you translate it once, so you get a little bit of explanation. You translate it again, it keeps getting open. You get more and more of an understanding of what the word really means. In the Hebrew, it's all condensed into all the meanings are there in the Hebrew. Anyway, so that could be an explanation here, that it breaks up into, when it spreads out, then you get all the details. It's inside. Amar Rav Chananel Bar Papa, Maideksiv, Shamuki Negidim Adaber, speak because royalty, listen, because royalty I shall speak. Chananel Bar Papa. It's a new one. No, he's not in the list. Chanina Bar Papa. Why are the words of the Torah compared to royalty? It's coming to tell you, it's just like royalty has the power to kill and to give life. After the words of Torah also can kill and give life. And this is what Rava says, it could be it says it's gives long life to those on the right side. So Torah gives to the right. What does the right mean? People that learn Torah with all their might, as if it's their right hand. So then it's a potion of life, an elixir of life. L'masmilimba, to the left, that's Sama D'Maisa, that could be poison. Davar Acher, another pshat, Negidim, royalty, Kol Diba V'Diba Sheyatzim Pia Kadosh Baruch Hu, every word that came out from Hashem, Koshim Le'Shnei Ksarim, they tied two crowns to it. Rashi says that because the words had substance, and because they could see the words. As it says, Royam Esakailas, they could put crowns on the words. Okay, I'm Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Maideksiv. Rabbi Shua ben Levi says, what's the meaning of the pasuk? Tzrar Hamar Daidili, a bundle of mir is my beloved. Bein Shada Yolin, between my breasts he lays. Amar Knesset Yisrael Lefnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Jewish people said to Hashem, Rabbeinu Shalom, Afal Pi Shemeitzer Meimarli, even though I guess it means like you're upset with us, that you caused the suffering because you took away our crowns, but nevertheless, Daidi, Api Shemeitzer Meimarli Daidi. Yeah, that's how you read it. Even though my beloved is causing us suffering, taking away our crowns, but Bein Shada Yolin, but he still lays between my breasts. It's referring to that the Shechina came between the staffs of the Aron, because it says the staffs of the Aron by the Mishkan were protruding, the two staffs were protruding through the curtain, that it looked like, the protrusions looked like breasts of a woman. It wasn't pushed back, it was, the staffs were sticking outward. Eshkol HaKofer, Daidili Bekarmi Ein Gedi. This is some type of spice. What is the meaning of Eshkol HaKofer? A cluster of henna. Okay. Eshkol HaKofer. A cluster of henna is the vineyards is of Ein Gedi. Misha Kol Shaloi. What does it mean? Eshkol HaKaifer. The word Eshkol means the cluster, means someone to him that everything belongs to him. That HaKaifer, what is HaKaifer, which was translated as henna, means it atones for me. Alavoin Gedi Shekaramtili. Not Ein Gedi, but for the sin, Ein, which is now translated as Avain, sin, and Gedi is translated as Gedi, as the goat, or the kid. What is it referring to? The Egel. That Shekaramtili, that I collected for myself. So Hashem forgives for the sin of the golden calf. My mashma da karmelishin de machnashu. How do you know that the word karme means gathering, that you gathered this for yourself? Amar Mar Zutra Breder of Nachman kedetnan kisi shel kovis shekaman loves a kalim. We have a mishnah. It says a launderer's chair, which one gathers garments. You see, it uses the word garment, means to gather. I should say it over here. Yeah. This is a board that has holes in it. And really what they would do is they would put the incense underneath it and the clothing would smell. Let's go a drop further. Rabbi Ben Levi says, what's the meaning of the pasuk? L'chayav karugas abaisem, his cheeks are like a row of spices. That refers to the following: Kol dibar shiyatzim pi HaKadosh Baruch Hu, every word that was uttered by Hashem. The whole world was filled with spices. 1 second. There's no room for the second smell. If the whole world is filled up, so how does the second one? Where does the second one go? So it says, Hashem took out a wind from his storage house, and each time he would blow away the first spice, first scent. So the next one can come. His lips are roses, right? That are dripping mar over, flowing mir. And what this is translated as al tikri sheishanim ela shashainim, means repeat. Shashainim. That means every utterance has its own smell. Is that the pshat? Mar over means that he moves it away. That's it. Not flowing, but that he moves it away. Each one moves away for the next one. Rabbi Ben Levi called Rabbi Ben Levi was great in Agadata. That's what the Gemara tells us in Baba Kama. A master of Agadata. It says every word that Hashem spoke, Yatzin Nishmasan Shal Yisrael, the souls left the Jewish people. Shnemer Nafshi Yatz B'Dabri. It says my soul departed when he spoke. So the problem is, if the soul departed with the first one of the dibros, so dibur sheni heich kiblu, how did they receive the second one? So hirid tal shasalachis baya mesim v'achiyesam. Hashem brought the dew that he's going to use to revive the dead, to revive them. Shnemer geshem nedaves tanef elikim nachlascha v'nila atachinanta. You pour down rain, a generous rain. Your inheritance your you poured down a bountiful rain. Nachlascha, when your inheritance, vanilla, means was like weak. Atakananta, you supported it. That means that they were supported when their souls departed. They were given back life. Every time Hashem spoke, the Jewish people jumped back 12 mil in fear. And the angels had to bring them back to the mountain. The angels will scatter. Don't read it Yidaidan, that means scatter. Yidadon means that they walked them. That the angels had to walk them back. There was this fellow that I met, he says, as a kasha, if the Jewish people passed away by each time Hashem spoke, so it says, B'meisim Chavshi, after a person passes away, he's exempt from mitzvahs. So how were they able to accept the mitzvahs? The next one, they're already exempt if they passed away. When they come back, there's rayas, that B'meisim Chavshi, there's Gemaras that discusses. When they come back, the revival of the dead, we're not obligated in mitzvahs. That's possibly the pshat, because the dead are exempt. So he translated this, it doesn't mean that they died, it means that they fainted. Parchan Hashmasa means they fainted instead of died. Here it sounds like the souls departed. It doesn't have to mean that. Okay, let's go do another one. Amar Rabbi Shua ben Levi b'shashal Moshe l'marayin. When Moshe went up, Amar Malachi Asher Sifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the angel said to Hashem, Rabbeinu Shleilam, Master of the world, Mali Yehudi Shabinenu, what is this human being doing amongst us? Who brought this one here? Amar Lahem, so Hashem tells the angels, the Kabbalah Torah by, no, he came to receive the Torah. Amar Lefanav, the angel said, Chamuda Genuza, this is a hidden treasure. Shegenuza Lacha Teishem Yesr Shivim Ba'arba Deiros Kedem Shnevreilam. It was hidden for 974 years before the world was created. 974 generations before the world was created. So, Atimivakish Litna Labasav Adam. And now you want to give it, you just give it away like that to a human being. Ma'anish Kisis Kareno, what is man that you even mention him? Ben Adam Kisif Kedenu, and a human being that you consider him. Hashem Adinenu, Ma'ader Shimcha B'chalarz, Asher Tenahit Chala Shemayim. You should put your glory on the heavens. You're so great. So Hashem says to Moshe, Hechselem tshuva, respond to them, give them an answer. He says to them, no, I'm afraid they're going to burn me with the breath of their mouth, like dragons. He says, hold on to my throne, you'll be protected. He grasped onto the throne and he spread his cloud over him. Parshas means to spread. Anana is his cloud. This tells us that Hashem put a shechina over Moshe to protect him. Amar Lefanav, so he says in front of Lefanav, he says before Hashem, Rabbeinu Shleilam, Torah shatanaisenli, maksivba. What does it say in the Torah that you're giving me? I am Hashem, your God that took you out of the land of Egypt. Amar Lahem says to the angels, the Mitzrayim yiradatem, leparish tabadatem. Were you ever in Egypt? You were enslaved to Pari. Torah lametelachem. What do you need the Torah for? Shuv maksiva. What's the next thing it says? You shouldn't have other gods. You live amongst the nations. This is an issue for you. They worship idols. Shuv maksiva. What's the next thing? Remember the Shabbos to keep it holy. Do you do work that you have to rest? Shuv maksiva leisisa. You shouldn't take the name of Hashem in vain. Like swear falsely. Masu matni yesh b'chem, do you have to take oaths? Shuv maksib b'kabra savicha v'asimecha, it says, honor your father and mother. Ava im yesh lechem, you have a father and mother. Shuv maksiv b'lei sirtzach, lei tinaf, lei tignav, kine yesh b'nechem, don't kill, don't commit adultery, don't steal. Do you have jealousy? You have a Yetzirah. Miyad, right away, Hoydele HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem agreed, Shneimar Hashem Adoninu Madar Shimcha. In the following pasuk, it doesn't say Tanahit Chal Hashemayim. So miyad, immediately, kol echad, miyad could mean immediately. Kol echad v'echad nas le'oyev. Each one of the angels became an admirer of Moshe. Masalei David, they gave him presents. Shneimar Alisa l'marim shivisa shevi. You went up to heavens and you took a captive. L'kachta matanis ba'adam, and you took gifts for man. B'schar shekrucha adam l'kachta matanis. Because you were called man, that's how you got these gifts. Af malach hamavas masalei davar. Even the angel gave him a gift. Shneimar b'yitnes ha'kteres ve'chaper ala'am. He gave him the Moshe, when there was the plague, to stop the plague, he put Ketairas and it atoned for the people. If Moshe didn't know how this worked by the angel, would he have known to be able to how to stop the plague like that? Okay. Shakayach.